Howdy. Today is November 8th, 2025. And I'm in the Sequoia National Forest, California. It's the Kern Canyon, one of my favorite spots. Here are a couple of hot springs. A year ago today, I was waking up from having colostomy reversed, and I just wanted to mark the moment. So ta-da! A year later, I have my body autonomy back, and it feels wonderful. Just to recap, since 2019, that's 6 years now, I've had 2 different cancers 3 times, and I've survived a 40-foot fall, and I'm still here. Past couple of months, I should say the past year or so, I put a lot of energy into regulating my intestines, my bowel movements, and all that. And I'd say we're almost back to normal. I have this thing on the back of my van. It says "free to roam," and the reason I have that on there is throughout all of these trials, I've been on a short leash to the hospital or from the hospital, and the past few months has been the first time I haven't had a doctor's appointment scheduled. I'm supposed to, I told them at the beginning of the summer that I was going to be gone to the East Coast, and would let them know when I got back, probably in November. And so sometime in the next week or so, I'm going to follow through and set up appointments to get some imaging and meet my new oncologist and all that. But I just wanted to, in the face of all the stuff that's happening in the world, I just wanted to say that I'm better. And I've had some setbacks. I got back to flying in the spring and early summer, and the icing on the cake was flying off of Aspen Mountain this summer. Definitely the high point of a lot of things. And then the very next day, I had an accident attempting to launch off of a mountain in Boulder, Colorado. And I was almost killed. and I bruised my foot pretty severely, and then spent the rest of the summer healing from that. And it was almost like the universe just kind of sat me down and said, okay, now that you're relatively physically back to normal, now's the time to start to deal with the psychological aspects of what you've been through for the past 6 years. And as soon as I got to the Cape, with my, trying to heal my foot, all this, PTSD stuff started to come up and to be dealt with. And I stayed away from people and did my best to not splash anybody with it and focus on whatever needed to come up. And it seemed as though as soon as my foot got better, I ended up having a really weird kerfuffle happen in my hometown that led me to leave. And I was expecting to stay through October to attend my 50th high school reunion and to go to fly Cape Cod, to fly the National Seashore for the first time. And that was not to be. I ended up making it to Burning Man. And on my birthday, it rained. I had one of those bucket list things that I started the day with, getting a flight around the city, something I've been trying to get to the airport for years, to sign up for. And my first morning there, that's what I did. Later that day, it rained pretty heavily, and I was way out on the playa when it started raining, and it took me, about 4 hours to get back to my van. And just about a block away from the van, I stopped at the center camp, and I ended up slipping in the mud and smashed my knee. And that was August 26th, and I have spent the past 2 months trying to heal my knee. And mostly I just came from last night. I got here from Mammoth, which is at 7,000, a little over 7,000 feet, and very cold the past month. But every day I was able to soak for about 2 hours. And I noticed that the reason I did that is because I noticed that the knee accelerated its healing when I soaked. So, but once again, it seemed like it was another one of those situations where the universe just sat me down and said, you need to get quiet. And so if my voice sounds a little weird, it's because I'm not used to using it, except to the occasional call from my sister, Chris. And she always like, what's wrong with your voice? I'm like, I haven't been using it. That's, just being quiet. And sitting with myself. I have to say that I really kind of like it. So, but the knee's getting better. It's now, I've started running on it more, and it feels like it's ready to for me to start building my body back up again. It's been, what a roller coaster of, 2 steps forward, 1 step back in that regard. But I'm 68, and I feel very blessed to have made it this far. 68 orbits around the sun, and I'm looking forward to getting back in flying shape over the next couple of months, and taking it from there. I don't know, I don't think anybody knows what the future brings, but I know that I'm very blessed to be standing here right now, having nearly died so many times over the past couple of years, by accident or by, cancer or whatever. So anyway, just gonna, like the rest of us, just sort of sally on. I'm very encouraged by what we saw politically this week with the elections on Tuesday. I think that it's of course appalling that we have arrived at a time in our country's history where the government is making war on its citizens, and the good side, the good thing about it, what I'm seeing is that we are learning a lot about greed and how our country has been built on greed, and we're choosing something else. We're seeing that how unnecessary that is. I have a project that I'm working on that I'll be tuning you into over the next couple of months that has something to do with this. It's a global universal basic income. So I'll leave that there, and it's I'm kind of excited about it, to say the least. To be my gift to the world, so to speak. So yeah. Anyway, gonna leave it there, and once again, give thanks for being alive. There's a lot of people that are this is their time to leave the world, and for us to bear witness. And there's a lot of people that this is their time to join us here in the world, and for us to do our best to make it as easy for them as possible to flourish. And I'm just really glad to be alive with the rest of y'all on this planet right now. It's a very exciting time to witness what is, what all this is, and I just keep being brought back to the notion of joy, how important joy is, and what a radical thing it is to enjoy, to allow oneself enjoyment and to share enjoyment. It's kind of a sacred thing, you know. So I'm going to take a hike down to the springs to see if they're usable this morning. And I didn't know the river might be too high. So we'll see. Hey. Yeah. You know, I never really look at what people are saying on here while I'm talking. Hey there. Because I'm usually trying to get. I don't know how people do this, you know, without being rude, of you know, reading their screens while they're talking. It's too distracting for me. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. I don't know when I'll be doing this in the future. One of the things that came to me over the summer was to be more quiet and to not, you know, not send these out to people anymore. If people want to know, they can search it up, but I don't want to impose. You know, I know that people have other things to do, and you know, we're all doing our best to just make it through each day. And our attention is a pretty sacred thing, you know. So I don't expect anybody. I'm really doing this to leave a record and mark the moments, as I've said over the years. Just kind of keep track, little snapshots of the journey. You know, I don't expect people, you know, to be that interested in it, but I think somehow it's important, because otherwise, you know, these big moments come and go and we forget them. And there are things I don't want to forget, you know, like how blessed I am to be alive, how blessed we all are to be here now. So, one of the 8.2 billion souls incarnate right now. I'm optimistic about where all this is going. I see that the way the world is, you know, facing authoritarianism and greed and the limits of capitalism and so forth are how we collectively make our way towards a more compassionate existence collectively. So boys on toys. Anyway, that's enough for that. Love you. And remember, you know what I'm saying? Alrighty. We love you.